All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. I know that we had a lot of readings to get through today. But I think it was worth it because we got to hear the parable of the prodigal son. You know, one of the best known stories in the Bible, and it's only in the Gospel of Luke. And that means that we don't really hear it all that often. And the prodigal son, among other things, is about belonging somewhere and about the inherent value of every member of the family. So before we go any further on that, I think we better take a sounding. Let's see what sort of congregation we are today. So please raise your hands if you think that you are the most favorite member of the family. Oh, that's depressing. Okay. Please raise your hands if you think you are the least favorite member of the family. All right. How many of you know you're the least favorite member of the family? All right. Good morning, troublemakers. Don't take it hard. You're the ones that keep it interesting. One last question. How many of you feel that you are the forgettable member of the family? A couple of you. Okay. Well, I think I know pretty well where I fall on that little contest. My family, for years, my family had this picture frame on the wall of our kitchen. I mean, plain view, everyone to see. Everyone who enters the house can see this thing. Now, it was kind of a cool thing. It was a picture frame about yay big, and it was one frame, but it had room for 4 different pictures of equal size. And here are the pictures that were in that picture frame, and I am not making this up. Picture of my sister Ashley. Picture of my brother Eric. Picture of my sister Allison. Picture of a flower. My family loved that flower so much. You know, it's not like they ran out of room for my picture or anything. There was totally room, and I just wasn't quite as important as that picture of a flower. I think that really shows the dynamic of the Lopina family. And just for the record, that's one story I could share of several. And what that means is, it means that I have a lot in common with the older son of our parable today, who kind of throws a little temper tantrum at the end of the story. Like, Dad, what are you doing? Don't you love me as much as him? I'm your good son. I'm the one who stays out of trouble after all. And his father has this great response. His father says, Son, of course I love you. I would do anything for you, even if I haven't done anything quite as dramatic as for your brother recently. But he's home now, and it's time to celebrate that fact. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it's this wonderful fatherly message. Now, I've often wondered, what if they throw this huge party and then the very next morning, the prodigal son gets grounded for losing all that money? As the older son of the story, that would be awesome. It would be awesome and beside the point. It's beside the point because the story is all about belonging, belonging to a family or a group that cares about you. That matters so much. I mean, beyond our ideas of mercy and forgiveness, certainly beyond our ideas of punishment and discipline, it's about belonging. The prodigal son belongs with his family. Whatever he did before, whatever's going to happen next is beside the point. He belongs with his family. And just so, we all belong somewhere ourselves. And, sometimes we can forget that. We can forget that for a number of reasons. Maybe you're like the older son, and you forget that you belong somewhere because you feel invisible or undervalued as a person. So if that's you, I say, have faith. Have faith because you're never really as invisible as you feel you are. And if you think you're being undervalued as a person, most of the time that's because our true value hasn't yet been tested. So hold on, because your moment to shine might be right around the corner. Now, maybe you're more like the prodigal son. Maybe you've forgotten you belong somewhere because you're a screw-up and you lost a ton of your dad's money, and who would take you back now after all that you've done? Well, if that's you, then I say, have faith. Have faith because there are no crimes or mistakes that cannot be overcome with a contrite heart and the courage to admit your faults. It is our unconfessed crimes that tear families apart. If you can be honest with yourself, you can be honest with your family. Well, it's the prodigal son. It's a story that's always going to mean something for as long as there are families. And each and every one of you are a part of the story somehow, because all of you belong somewhere with people who truly care about you and people who truly love you.